So we're back in Victoria and we're on our way home.
Yep.
Driving through Woryalloc.
Yep.
And you have something to say. What do you have to say, Mr. Jim?
About these fucking border crossing bullshit rules. So, when we're in Queensland, we sort of started to look into what the deal was to go back to Victoria, because Victoria's still in lockdown. And the entire New South Wales is in lockdown, so we thought, oh, well, we'd have a look into it. And so we looked into the Victorian website and eventually found a section called a transit permit, so you can get a permit to enter Victoria if you drive through a infected zone, so what they call a red zone or an extreme zone, which the whole of New South Wales is a red zone. The fine print was that you got 24 hours to do it, so 24 hours from the time you enter the red zone to leave the red zone and enter Victoria. So New South Wales is a pretty big state, and pretty much the shortest distance across it was from Goondiwindi to Tookamal, so that's 1,040 kilometres.
Caution, approaching school zone.
So, you know, I don't mind driving long distances and I'm fairly used to it, but you can only go the speed limit, and you know, in New South Wales the towing speed limit's 100 kilometres an hour, so you can only do 100 maximum. Then you've got to slow down for roadworks, you've got to slow down for towns, you've got to stop and rest, you've got to stop and eat. We didn't have to stop for fuel because we've got long range tanks, but most people would have to stop for fuel. And you've got to get at least one nap in that time as well. So allowing 24 hours to do 1,000 kilometres for people, especially like we're 60, so we're still reasonably fit, but you meet a lot of caravanners in their late 70s and early 80s, and they just can't drive those sort of distances. They're just, you know, they're not physically up to it. I mean, I'm content to sit on 100 kilometres an hour, but a lot of those older people, they need to sit on 85 or 90 because that's all that they can do, you know?
But not only that, they can't drive in the dark.
No, they can't. I don't like driving in the dark, especially on those country roads. On those country roads, once it gets dark, that's the truckies' domain. Like the reason the truckies drive at night is because if they hit a cow or a kangaroo, it basically makes no difference to them, doesn't then slow them down. And there's no cars and especially no caravans on the road at night time. So the dark in the country, that's the truckies' domain, and so it should be, you know. So they can sit on their 100 kilometres an hour on those country roads all night long, and so that's what they do. So the caravanners aren't generally on the road at night time because it's not safe. Like if you hit a cow in a car doing 100 kilometres an hour, well, it's a fucking ride-off and maybe a fatality, you know. So that's why most people travel and don't travel in the dark. So allowing 24 hours to cross 1,000 kilometres, the government is being irresponsible, and the fucking health officers, anybody in the health office, the majority of them are doctors. Now, my understanding is all doctors take a Hippocratic oath, and that all that Hippocratic oath boils down to is do no harm. Well, fucking encouraging elderly people and people towing caravans to drive 1,000 kilometres within 24 hours is fucking doing harm. So get your head out of your fucking ass and think about it, and how about before you make stupid decisions, talk to the people that it affects. Every time the government makes a decision, they sit around a fucking coffee table and decide amongst themselves that that's the fucking way it's going to be. They don't talk to the people it's going to affect. Like the decisions they make that affect fucking farmers, affect fucking transport workers, affect health workers, affect parents. You know, it's fucking ridiculous. Like, really, it's time for a revolution, people. We need to fucking stand up And remember, the government works for us. We don't fucking work for them. We're paying these retards anywhere from $200,000 to $500,000 a year to act like dictators. And the reason they do is because we fucking let them. So, the election coming up in November. Just fucking remember, they work for us. Anyway, back onto my holiday. So I've really enjoyed it. Like I just said, I do enjoy driving. The 1,000 kilometres in 14 hours. Well, it was really easy to do because there was no traffic on the road. So this big car, you just put the cruise control on 100 and away you go. The car does all the work. It's a comfortable car, so you can sit in it for long periods of time. So I didn't actually mind doing that, and I thought that was, a little bit of a challenge to do it anyway. So
how long did it take us?
It took us 14 hours and 2 minutes, and we stopped. Well, we stopped for an hour for a power nap, and then we stopped for a couple of snacks.
Cup of tea in the caravan. So we didn't eat at any place because there was no place to eat. Nothing
no
was open.
Anywhere. Even the road stops. The normal roadhouses weren't open. So outback New South Wales is like a ghost town. You drive through the towns there, you see 2 or 3 people. See the odd farmer moving one paddock to another, and the rest of the traffic was interstate trucks and caravanners. And there was almost no caravans going north.
No. And we I think we saw one coming back, heading the same direction as us.
No, there's a few go the way we went.
Was there?
Yeah,
I mustn't have looked up.
You were reading your book most of the time.
Aha.
But anyway, have a look at the scenery here back in Victoria.
It's beautiful.
Bit of green again. We haven't seen green grass for a little while.
Sanagana.
But we put the short route in on the GPS, and it took us the scenic route through where we going through Yea, Hayfield, Yea, Healesville, and now it's going to take us through Cockatoo, Warrigal, and out the back way to Wild Dog Valley. So been a nice scenic drive. We completely avoided the CBD coming this way, and yeah, it's been good.
All done?
That's it.